Welcome back to the South America Challenge here on HeflaTV HB1 with Game 3 of the finals between Union Gaming and Pain Gaming. It's going to be Pain to strike back, tying things up 1-1. And, well, I think a lot of it comes down to draft. Union Gaming, even though they got a decent amount of farm in their Anti-Mage and Shadow Fiend, it never really felt like there was an item that ever activated their heroes. And on the other side of the coin, ADR's Phantom Assassin was roaming free for the first time inside the series. We're going to see Trollward picked up by Pain Gaming, followed up by the Lina, and for Union Gaming, Lion and Beastmaster. I'm joined by Mike Loris. I'm Grandis V. How are you doing, Mike?
Man, it's pretty much just a best of 3 right now, so to make it sound a little bit less daunting to everyone, best of 5 has been cut down to a best of 3. And off of what you said about it coming down to the draft, it's that, but also like it's both teams having to get a good read on where their draft is compared to the other guys. That I think that's especially in the last game, where Union Gaming had probably a decent draft. Like they had the Anti-Mage, they had a pretty solid 4 Protect 1, but they got into their heads that they were playing a different game than what their draft actually said that they were supposed to play. And they just ended up stalling out for way too long. You have to pick a draft, you have to execute the draft. And it does, I mean, that's definitely the hardest part about Dota, doing both of those things successfully. But we have ourselves a real draft right now. Lion, Beastmaster from Union Gaming. They're going to say, anything you can do, Tavo, we can do better. But for Pain, they grab a Troll Warlord. Who's surprised? I'm certainly not surprised, as well as Alina.
Yeah, really nothing too crazy coming out from these first 4 picks. The Beastmaster is definitely the most noteworthy, but even he's a pretty standard offlaner nowadays. Batrider, Axe, and Clockwork banned out. Pain Gaming are probably going to have to scratch a little bit further down into their offlaner pool. This game more than most. Presumably they already have 2 of their cores. Both of them are more than equipped to go towards the mid lane, but it's probably going to be Lina in that matchup. Abaddon, the ban, coming out from Union Gaming, protecting their Beastmaster.
And their Morphling. That's most likely going to be a supporty-oriented Morphling. Kind of weird with the Beastmaster pickup already, but though Beastmaster Roar is kind of important, you don't really have to spend a ban in order to protect it. If they buff it out with Abaddon, if they want to commit an Abaddon pick solely to counter your Beastmaster, I guess to a lesser extent the Lion, then you're going to be okay with that. But this looks like it might be the 4-position stunning Morphling that is oh so popular nowadays. That's the only reason why I would think you would ban out an Abaddon. But for Pain, they could just as easily grab a Legion Commander right now. And that actually doesn't look too terrible with what they have right now. Maybe not the best with Alina core, but if you put Alina as support, grab a Legion Commander, you're going to be pretty happy.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm not sure if they are going to go for the support Morphling. It definitely is the flavor of the month and how a lot of people are playing it, but I would be game for them to put some core farm onto him as well, since they already do have the Beastmaster. It does get the lanes a little bit crowded. But who knows? We'll just have to see how Union Gaming are going to play it. It's still open to them to go for either way of, either flavor of Morphling, let's say. Trollward and Lina is going to open up a lot of supports for Pain Gaming to pick up in these next couple of slots. They should prioritize silences pretty highly against a Morph. Even against some Morphling, it's really important to stop him from moving throughout the fights, and a Skywrath Mage would look decent here.
Yeah, just grabbing any sort of stunning action is pretty good. You, of course, want to get those fast responses if you can, and it's a Vengeful Spirit for the Pain Gaming side, looking maybe a little bit more towards the 1-2 combinations of Venge, Missile into Lina damage, or hell, even Vengeful Spirit into Troll Warlord damage would also be pretty reasonable. Roshing is pretty possible right now with the Pain Gaming side. Really all you need is Troll Warlord because he's that OP, but adding a little bit minus armor certainly does help there as well. So Pain, they also have a tool that, I mean, obviously they have the swap, but up against a Roar and a Morphling Adaptive Strike, swap becomes so much more valuable.
Yeah, definitely so. Let's see, select the pickup for Union Gaming. The disables coming out from Pain are nice and all, but they're pretty easy to pack out. Light Strike Array and Magic Missile are very projected, and Swap doesn't bother Slark that much. Usually you have time to react with the Shadow Dance. This probably is going to end up being more of a support type Morphling after all. Slark is a carry that a lot of the South American teams prioritize very heavily, and although there's not going to be a point where he's great at man fighting a troll, if he ever gets ahead when it comes to items, he can eventually do it.
Yeah, this Slark was previously banned out in the other 2 games, so Union Gaming finally getting their hands on that one. Then we have a Mag up from Pain. Are we looking at the 3 cores right now? Mag, Lina, as well as Troll. Magnus offlane is exceedingly mediocre, I think. Although the synergy with Troll Warlord is real, if Pain Gaming this time decide to take it to the late game stage, Empowered Troll, assuming he doesn't get locked down, which is a big assumption up against Union Gaming, is an absolute powerhouse, and it's really difficult for anyone to deal with that. Like, any one hero can't really deal with that effectively. So Mag is a reasonable pick in that regard. I'm liking the Lina a little bit more in this game. Soon's Lina performance, maybe he just needs another game to really get in the groove, since he was doing decently outside of his bad early start. But I don't know if they would want to give him that hero again.
I think it's probably a lot more likely this time around, since there isn't somebody that's just going to be camping mid constantly. Lion, although he can set up for kills onto the mid lane, especially if like that mid lane offers some amount of damage like a Morphling, it's not as threatening as a 5-second arrow, and yeah, well, we'll just see how much faith they put into him. I think it's still reasonable soon, although he got off to a terrible start, still played well, and got his combos down well, so I don't know. It's up to them. Support Lina is also decent.
All right, so we'll see what Union Gaming want to grab right now. Morphling might be going towards the offlane. Beastmaster might be taking a 4-position pulling, jungling role. That's fine as far as that is concerned. Most likely, it's going to be a mid lane focus for them. And we'll see if Pain agree. It's going to be a Disruptor ban out from the Union Gaming side, getting that quick silence off the board, protecting their Morphling, protecting their Slark, and of course that Lion, if you caught in there as well, you're probably just going to die. So pretty smart bans out from both sides, really, as Pain really are struggling to deal with this mobility-heavy lineup of Union Gaming. It's going to be a tinker. Storm Spirit ban maybe biting Pain a little bit in the ass there.
Yeah, pretty interesting pick for Union Gaming at the moment. Pain have no real way to catch out the Tinker. The two highest priority heroes against Tinker when you're catching him out split pushing are Batrider and Storm. And as you already mentioned, Storm Spirit getting banned out is going to open this up for Union Gaming quite a bit. They don't have great ways to catch vision inside the trees. Ranged axes are okay. Light Strike Array is okay, but nothing great. Once Tinker gets his Blink Dagger, 9 times out of 10 he's going to be able to keep himself safe across the map and make a lot of space for Union Gaming's heroes. All 5 of the heroes for Union Gaming, although they can function without farm, scale incredibly well with farm, so delaying the game with a Tinker I think is a reasonable option. This is going to give Ping Gaming a way to catch Tinker, at the very least know where he is with the Zeus ultimate now picked up. Probably going to be a support Zeus.
And now if Pain get into the same trap that Union got into last game, where they think they should be grinding the game out, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. The power of Troll Warlord, though, certainly is very, very high, especially when he is empowered. It doesn't really do much for you when you're literally unable to do anything because there's permahex on the other end. So the late game of UG is absolutely disgusting. They have so many answers, and it's really going to be up to Pain to try to get this Troll Warlord active early on and try to ride mainly this core Lina into towers and or an early victory. So we'll see if Pain are up to the task. For UG, they could just sit back and chill. They don't have to do anything in this game. They just have to farm. But this is game 3, guys. Tied 1-1. Let's see who's going to be playing what on Pain. ADR is on the Troll Warlord. Baga is playing the Vengeful Spirit. King RD is going to be supporting once again as the Zeus. Soon is on the Lina again. I hope she's going to have a better start than last time. And then Tavo is on the top lane Mag.
And for the Dire side, Zitaka going to be playing the support Beastmaster, opening up with the Boots first. Lion played by Nightmare. It's going to be Sora on the Tinker. Hey, so he's tagged up. I wish he'd stop changing his name. Ben has going to be playing on the Slark in the safe lane farming position, off lane Morphling by Nando. Pretty interesting to see them go for the support Beastmaster. He's going to end up giving 1 CS over to Tavo, and honestly that's probably about as good as it gets for the Magnus. He's opted for Skewer first. The potential for cliffing people is there if they get a little too over aggressive when it comes to getting this bounty rune, but now that they spot out the Mag with an Observer, this shouldn't end up happening, although they're going to try. They're so scared of this lineup coming out from Pain, and probably rightfully so. They're going to end up giving the bounty rune towards the Lina. Troll Warlord gets the one down towards bottom after man fighting the Morphling, and in the end, Pain find themselves with an advantageous bounty rune trade, starting off with 200 golden experience ahead.
And also ADR putting a lot of extra free damage into the Morphling. Got a first hit Lucky Bash because that seems fair. Of course, it's always a first hit bash when the enemies are playing it, right? But ADR going to get a lot of free damage there, and with some supports, should be able to zone out this Morphling pretty decently. It looks like it's just going to be defensive tri-lanes for both sides. Tabo's not going to have a great time here, but with an off lane, or with the 4-position supporty Beastmaster, really he's not going to be able to contribute that much to the lane. Yet, despite that, Nightmare and Benyez, though they do have kill potential here, we can see Tavo, he's playing pretty comfortably. In fact, Nightmare's taking a beating. Skewer, and then boot chase down. Nightmare's got to watch himself up on top.
Yeah, for sure. Already showing himself on the Beastmaster that he's not afraid with trading blows with supports, as he probably shouldn't be, as long as Benhez isn't involved in that in any way, shape, or form. Nightmare 1v1 cannot win against the Mag. Let's see. The mid lane matchup, Lina versus Tinker, I'll say that's pretty even towards either side, although for the time being, Tinker's taking a lot of harass coming out from those Dragon Slaves, forced to pop his salve.
Alright, are we actually sure that this is the same person? Because the Tinker player, I mean, hey.
I am 90% sure.
Okay. Because I don't pay attention to these players' icons. If I did, I would know, but yeah, who knows? But we'll assume he's the same player. Tavo, up towards top, is going to spot the fact that he's technically up against a tri-lane, but this Beastmaster, again, is going to be almost inconsequential. Similar to King RD, though, Zeus is 100% on pull duty, and he's going to be stacking up the jungle when he can, of course, but he's just looking to get levels for himself and hold creep equilibrium. This is going to passively shut down the Morphling, prevent him from getting really much of anything as far as experience is concerned. If he gets close, there's magic missiles and axes waiting for him.
And even if you're made of water, that still hurts you, apparently. ADR, now with a huge level advantage over the Morphlings, going to have a good time about it. Beastmaster is also zoned out almost completely. These offlaners are having abysmal times, even though it is pretty much 2v1. This is... excuse me, no, I'm looking at the Beastmaster when should be thinking of the Magnus. Tavo is having a better time than Morphling, but still not great.
And over towards mid soon is still alive, so he's doing a lot better than he was doing in game 1, where at this point he died like twice, right? Something like that. He was still level 3 and he was very unhappy, so it's going to be a lot more of an even situation over towards mid as Laguna Blade is quickly incoming. Tinker is going to go for 2 points. Laser starting to go towards that march, but once Soon grabs that level 6 mark, then Tinker has got to be careful. Tinker doesn't really have a similar leap in power. His leap in power comes with travels, and that's not really a direct heads-up leap in power. It's a more spread-out global power increase.
Where are Union Gaming going to get the support levels for the Beastmaster, excuse me? He's currently only level 1. I guess the answer to that is just through pulls. They're prioritizing Lion, which I guess is fair enough. Now that he has level 3, I'd like to see them switch these roles.
Yeah, get a little bit of extra experience on the Beastmaster. Get a faster roar, and well, Lion, he's level 3 right now. He's perfectly functional as a hero. Of course, you would like level 6, but it's by no means a necessity. Whereas for Paim, their Zeus has been pulling and stacking pulling mostly, pretty darn effectively. A couple of double pulls all the way to the hard camp, and Baga, that happened.
Wow, Tinker gets blown up in mid. Just an off Light Strike Array landing, and the Dragon Slave to follow up, and soon finds himself the kill. Dies in a matter of seconds. I really wasn't expecting that to happen, but if you overstep your bounds and play with fire, you'll get burned, and Lina's going to do that to the Tinker.
Yeah, so Boots travels a little bit further away now from the Tinker. It's still only 4 minutes in, so he has a lot of time to get that item up, and he is actually investing quite heavily into that build. March the Machines level 3. This is usually what we saw from Tinker before the change to the Ancients, where now you can't Ancient anymore as a Tinker. Usually you have a couple more points in these aggressive skills. Laser, Heat-Seeking Missile, try to help you control the lane, and then you leave March the Machines for a little bit later. So if Hey gets killed once or twice more, then his travels are looking more and more like Distant Dream. He has 3 kind of dead skills in his inventory, especially if he gets hit with the stun combo. He's just dead here.
Easy kill for Soon. Again, just an awkward Light Strike Array landing, or an off Light Strike Array landing onto the Tinker, and that's his death. Nothing you can do about it in that situation. The comeback mechanism for the Tinker is a huge stack of neutrals that's been prepared to by his supports. I think that's 5.
Trolls did for 4? I see 4.
It's a decent amount of gold regardless.
Yeah, it's cash. It's a big pile of cash.
Okay, pile of cash for the Tinker. He'll be able to farm that once he gets a Soul Ring out, but really those 2 deaths are going to slow him down a lot. He's not going to get his Soul Ring for a long time. He's not going to get his Boots of Travel for even longer, and now he might end up dying again. There's a smoke up coming out from Soon and Baga. If a Magic Missile connects, the Light Strike Array and Dragon Slave to follow is probably just his death. They'll look for the Grand Wraparound, hoping that he's farming his stack right now, but they won't find it, although they scout this, and maybe they can just burst this down. Lina might steal this with the Dragon Slave. This is huge. It really can't be underestimated. If the Tinker dies there, he might lose like 100 gold. This way he's losing like 300 gold. And although he's picking up a little bit of lane time, it does not make up for this fact.
Yeah, and not only is that gold loss for the Tinkers, also that gold increase for Soon and Baga. This is a lot of experience for the Vengeful Spirit. It doesn't look like they're going to be punished. The boar is just not close enough, and by the time they do arrive, Baga, he could just suicide to these creeps, and it's not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things. So, Hey is sitting pretty. At least he thinks he's sitting pretty, because he's like, oh, I'll just go ahead and clear out my stack. There's a quad stack waiting for me in just a little bit. He'll go up there and realize it's empty, and it looks like Baga and Soon, though they are very, very vulnerable right now, they will not be dying. Tinker has no heat-seeking missile, and both those two heroes will get away with absolute murder. Really just karma right now. This is pretty much what happened to Soon in the last game. He got absolutely smashed, yet now they're returning the favor towards the Tinker.
Pretty much. Troll Warlord is left to his own devices in bottom lane. The Morphling had such an abysmal start. He's only at level 3, even now. 6, almost 7 minutes into the game, and so there's nothing he can do to pressure ADR off of this lane. He's pretty much free farming. He's sitting on 1,500, almost 1,600 gold now on top of his casual band of Elven skin, Ring of Basilius boots, and all those small items. The Slark is also having a decent time, but not as great as his counterpart.
It looks like Benyaz holding on to a little bit of gold. Is it going to be a Midas build for him? Right now he doesn't have much of anything, but Tabo has level 6. He's going to skewer in for a shockwave. If that skewer hit, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have even been a kill, so Tabo's putting himself at some risk, but he's actually flexing his muscles, and he's 2 levels above the offlane Morphling.
Nightmare can't connect with any of the disables or chooses not to. The Magnus is going to survive for a little bit longer yet, but Tinker gets blown to shreds. My goodness, he just can't come into this lane anymore. It's like the same story we saw with Soon in game number 1. Except for this time, he's the one that's dishing out the pain. Troll Warlord with his ultimate puts some pressure in bottom lane. Honestly, I don't know what ADR is going for. It's going to be a Yasha and probably some form of lifesteal next. But everybody on the side of Pain is farming decently. Even the Magnus, as you already said, is doing a lot better than Nando. He has RP, even though he doesn't have mana to use it right now. He's able to contribute, where the Morphling really isn't. This support Morphling build doesn't come online until level 7, really, when you get 2 points up in the waveform and maxed out Adaptive Strike. Level 3 Adaptive Strike can do something, but usually not enough. There was a lapse of people being in the mid lane for a while, so Tinker's going to be farming up towards his Boots of Travel. He has his Soul Ring now, and Hey can farm up a couple of stacks, but there's none left for him. There was one at one point down in this medium camp, but I think it was Beastmaster that took that.
Yeah, you might as well take it. Any gold that you can get, make sure that it doesn't go into the hands of the enemies is going to be worthwhile. I'm just constantly missing these kills. My god, I am just drunk apparently. They have to RP the Slark, but they get the kill. That's really the difference here between the Morphling. Oh, they're going to run to Hey, I'm going to catch that one. It's going to be Hey once again taking Laguna to the dome. Eul Scepter now on Lina, it's like, it almost seems like it's not even necessary just because she's landing these LSAs, or she's capable of landing these LSAs even without it. And UG, they're just bleeding heroes left and right. Nando, his Adaptive Strike build, he needs allies to follow up. Whereas for Mag, if you land an RP, you can skewer back and get a kill just by yourself. So a lot more of a self-sufficient hero, and the Blink Dagger is coming on Mag. Also, Pain are going to take a tier 1 tower. This game is only 9 minutes in, and it's looking so bad for UG already.
It really is. The biggest issue I do have with this Morphling build is that it does no damage, and literally no damage too. The Adaptive Strike is hardly tickling. Waveform is the only thing that you can contribute, and at the moment, Union Gaming's damage backup to that is very, very limited. Lion getting his level 6 will sure help a lot, but the Slark himself isn't actually contributing that much either. He has a bottle, Power Treads, Aquila, but that pales in comparison to what the Troll is getting. He's not only already sitting on more net worth than the Slark, but he just farms so quickly with these items.
And he's going to go uncontested into his own jungle, and now it's about the time when Pain can start thinking about Roshan. Especially if they get a pick off on the Beastmaster, deny the guaranteed vision of that Rosh Pit. Baga with that level 3 wave plus ADR with his maxed out Fervor can go into the Rosh Pit, clear it out pretty easily. And even if they are spotted, what are UG actually going to do about this? Because ADR can clear out Roshan pretty safely, especially once he grabs the Helmet of the Dominator for that extra armor. They can't really crash Roshan effectively. Like, Tinker has a dead skill in March of the Machines. A level 2 laser and a level 1 heat-seeking missile isn't going to do jack.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Tinker will continue farming up towards his Boots of Travel, but they feel like it's really going to take too long. Soon, if anybody comes into Eul's range, they're probably just dead in this mid lane. Top lane is also getting a decent amount of farm as Tavo saves up for a blink. He's more than halfway there, and for an offlaner that can't really fall back onto jungle stacks, he's doing really well for himself. Union Gaming, they need to pick up some sort of momentum here, and well, I think that comes off of the back of a Finger of Death usage from the Lion. It is online for Nightmare, but there's not a clear opportunity yet.
Even if you Finger of Death and Spike Tavo, even if you pounce him as well, I'm pretty sure he still survives, so you need a lot of right clicks afterwards. And, well, you don't really want to use that towards the Mag. You want to use it towards the Lina, who, by the way, is killing off Hey. Well, another kill happened, but I was watching the Tinker die again.
Yeah, the Lion Death up towards top, although it's really nice for the Mag, it cost him an RP, is pretty much irrelevant. The Lina is just doing so much work. She's already more than halfway towards her Aghanim Scepter, and that is disastrous, really. The amount of pure damage, 675 pure damage that goes through Magic Immunity, that's going to one-shot the Lion or get damn near close to it. And any damage follow-up after the fact is a guaranteed kill on pretty much anybody on the side of Union Gaming. Slark isn't going to find an item in the near future that's going to allow him to fight more effectively or equally as effectively as Ping Gaming, mostly because of just their raw hero picks. Lina is able to push a tier 2 mostly by herself, although this might end up going punished. Soon is a menace. He's going to bump into the Beastmaster, and this could be the Beastmaster's death. Up into the air, down into the Light Strike Array. Light Strike Array connects with the Dragon Slave. Couple more auto attacks. Z-Talks down. Finger of Death gets not a kill. It's going to be connected into the Lina, but it doesn't matter. Nightmare's dropping low. Do they have the damage to follow this one up? Vengeful Spirit going to keep on chasing as a wave in 10 seconds, but can't actually chase any further. But still, a win for Pain nonetheless. 8-0.
Jeez, this game is, again, just pretty... Oh, it's over, apparently. Okay, well, I guess I don't have to say anything else because we're on to the next game.
What?
Soon
okay, that is
destroyed UG. That's like so much karma right there. I love it.
That is the most awkward ending to a game that has ever existed. Okay, so to be fair, they're really far ahead.
Unpause and let the ancient blow up.
I don't know.
You can see a score screen.
Either way, thanks for watching. We're off to game 4.
But they're still here, though.
Okay, so it's Lion versus Zeus? Is that what's going on? Okay, there's the ancient explosion. There is some resolution to this game. Thanks for tuning in to HeflaTV HP1 for the most awkward ending of a game ever as we move on to the next game in the series. Pain Gaming currently up 2-1, but soon looking really solid on the Lina, showing us that he has the stuff as long as he doesn't get camped mid by Mirana from minute 0 to 10. Hope to see you for the next game, and we'll be back there. I'm Grant SV, joined by Mike Loris, and we'll be back soon.